So today's gonna be pretty simple. I'm just gonna kind of give you a quick overview of the project that you guys are gonna be working on in class next week. So that way you can kind of be thinking about it. So we're gonna begin the process of preparing for a unit project that will demonstrate comprehension of Unit 2 topics and practice good study and work habits by managing student independent work time. Because most of the day will be a work day because report cards need to be submitted next week, so we need to make sure. So, it's Asia. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the Unit 2 final project and then you'll have work time. Those of you that submitted the CUAs, thank you. I know it was a bit rough. I'm going to change up the strategy on how we work up to those tests because some of the stuff it asked you was not things that I was told to teach you. But for the most part, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and round it up. So let's just reflect on that CUA, and it was a lot, even for me. I was depressed about it last night. So, but I do want to put all that behind us, and I want you guys to demonstrate to me what you do know about the stuff that I taught you, because I know sometimes it's hard to tell actually on a test what you know. I like more real world applications to see if you really get it, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna be completing it, and you'll have time during class. So basically the unit project, it's social reform and social media working together to create change, because we talked about how we have one and then combine it with the other, and that kind of helps spread awareness. So it is going to be due October 16th, 2020 at 11:59 p.m. That is an early release day. So I'm hoping that you guys will just be able, if I give you enough time during the week, that you'll just be able to submit it before you guys go for the weekend, okay? So the other thing is, this project is going to count as a summative, but it's kind of a different summative, because what I'm going to let you do is, if you do really well on it, which I think you will, you get to replace your lowest summative score with this, okay? And the lowest summative score for most of you is going to be the CUA. So what I'll do is I'll drop that score and I'll replace it with the project grade. Sound fair? Okay, because I do know that the CUA was a little difficult. All right, the writing portion will be graded on the through the rubric, and I'm going to want to see the writing process. You will have Tuesday through Friday during class to work on it and get assistance from me. My virtual kids, again, you can actually go to first, third, or fifth. So Asia, let's say that you can't make it to this class, you can always jump in my fifth or sixth period, and I will go ahead and I'll let you know what those Zoom codes are, okay? All right, so this is the project overview. It does look really small. Let me make it bigger.
Can I read that?
I know. So, social reform and social media. It's going to be covering the biases and the bias spectrum, logical reasoning in the form of inductive and deductive reasoning, logical fallacies that undermine an argument, and the rhetorical appeals, the ethos, pathos, logos. And I want you to put it all together, and there's a 2-part project. So, over the weekend, you don't have to work on it today, but over this weekend, I do want you to reflect on the different social reforms we actually discussed in class and some of the social issues. Were there any that you were passionate about? Is there any social issue that you're passionate about that maybe we didn't talk about? Because that's the one you can choose. It doesn't have to be one that we talked about. It can be one that you yourself are very passionate about, all right? So that's why I really want you to think over the weekend what you want to do. So once you select a social issue or reform, the first thing you're going to do is write a persuasive essay, and then you're going to do a visual media presentation. So let's look at that. Okay. So part 1 is the writing. It's set up just like the STAR. I am going to want to see your pre-writing process. And basically the question is one that we've actually talked about before. So write an essay stating your position on whether social media can be utilized to bring awareness to your social reform. So this is where you kind of get specific. Like, let's say I'm choosing the Black Lives Matter, right? When I flip it, I would say social media, I believe social media can be utilized to bring awareness to the Black Lives Matter movement, right? So instead of just social reform, I'm gonna actually input that there, okay? Make sense? And again, we're gonna go over it more in depth next week, and I'm gonna help you. So you're gonna do that. And you can also have one partner. So you don't have to do it by yourself. You can actually partner up with somebody, but each person has to submit a written essay and submit the same visual. So the visual, it must include information about your social reform, demonstrate why people should support your social reform, provide images and music tied to your social reform. At least 2 rhetorical appeals need to be utilized. You need to acknowledge the opposing view and include a call to action. But here's where it's kind of a little different. You can use TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. And if you don't have those, you can also use YouTube, PowerPoint, or Prezi, okay? If you're using these social media or video portions, it's 1 to 5 minutes, right? Because a snap is 1 minute, but you can actually fit a lot in 1 minute. And if it's a PowerPoint or Prezi, it needs to be 5 to 10 slides with a voice overview. I did forget to put that in there, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna create an assignment where you will post your paper, you will provide the link or this clip on there, and then you're also gonna record a video clip that basically answers these 5 questions, just so I have an idea. Why did you choose the particular reform, and why is it important that others know about it? Do you hold any biases about it? Where does your stance in social reform fall on the bias spectrum? Did the visual media entry hold any fallacies? And then, does your social reform have any ties to ones we discussed before in class? If so, which ones, okay? So again, you have all next week to do it. You have this weekend to think about it, even to kind of start feeling it out, what you want to do. But do you guys have any questions so far? Okay. Again, as we're going through it, I can help you step by step. And you have all week. That's all we're going to be doing next week, except for a quick review of some of the major questions that caused our problems. I am going to review that for you guys, just so that we know moving forward. Okay, sound fair? All right. So today again is a work day. Make sure you get anything into me that's missing, or be working on your other classes. If you are ahead, then relax, but just kind of be studious, I guess I could say. Okay.